And we're back with another round of Smash or Pass for Modern Diecast 2024. Today we're going to be looking at Fast and Furious premiums I have left in my collection. If you've caught any of the other previous Smash or Pass videos, you'll notice a recurring theme where I say I don't have many of these left. And with this one today, it's very true. We're only going to be going through 11 cars, so this should be a pretty short video. Let's just go ahead and get into it. If I say Smash, it's something that I'm going to keep in my collection. If I say Pass, I'm going to purge it from the collection. These are basically just the only cars in my premiums that I have left unopened, undisplayed. So starting off, this is the only full set I have, Fast Superstars, which like a lot of the other Fast and Furious sets we have, has one or two really strong cars, and then the rest are just kind of fillers, for lack of a better term. But we do start off strong here with the Nissan Skyline GTR. This one is from Fast and Furious. Sometimes I forget which movie this one was actually from. Didn't have a whole lot of screen time, but a really nice blue color here. Of course, the R34, always a really good looking casting and a fan favorite. Nice wheel choice. Just very clean lines. Like the car. Honestly, don't have a whole lot of reason to keep it other than just the fact that it's a Skyline R34. So I think, surprisingly to a lot of y'all, I think I'm going to go ahead and say pass on this one. I'm just going to go ahead and let it go to another collection where somebody can enjoy it a little bit more than I do. 70 Chevelle SS. This one here is not a bad casting, I guess. What really gets me, I kind of like the primer color paint job on here. But just kind of the set of the wheels gets me. That front end looks a little bit funky, the way the front wheels are kind of small and set down in there. I know they've kind of tried to lower it a little bit, but it just looks a little off to me overall. So I think I would just prefer like a regular stanced Chevelle. That's just me. So if you like this style of car, definitely a good pickup. For me, I'm going to go ahead and say pass. 70 Dodge Charger. This is, I believe, what do they call this? The Ice Charger. This one is from Furious 7. And for what it is, not a bad casting. We've had this in the, I guess what you'd call Silver Series now. I can't remember what they used to call it. But we've had a few different iterations of this. Maybe even had this in a mainline, if I'm remembering it right. So not a whole lot here other than just having Real Riders put on it. If you like this style of car, if you enjoyed this car in the movie, I think this is definitely a good pickup if you don't have it. Not a super popular casting. Well done for what it is, but I think I've already got some of these that's not in a premium. So I really don't have anywhere this fits in my collection. I'm going to go ahead and say pass. 70 Chevy Nova. Oh, there we go. 70 Chevy Nova SS. So this one I do think looks really good. Nice paint job here. Of course, we've had this several times over the past few years. And to be honest with you, if you caught the Silver Series, what was it, Decades of Fast, I believe, that has this car in it. Other than having the rubber tires, like the treads on the bottom, that car looks really super close to this one with those new style wheels they have on it. So, I mean, if I'm going to be paying the difference between that and this, unless you just really have to have the rubber tires for some reason, or the card art might be different if you're going to keep it carded. If you're going to open it or just like the card, Decades of Fast might be the way to go. You can probably get a steal on that. At the same time, I've not looked at these on eBay. These may be going dirt cheap too, because the Chevelles and the Novas, while they're really nice cars, they just don't bring the prices that the JDM stuff does. And especially when you have casting like this that's been done several times over the past few years. Anyway, all that to say, this is going to be a pass for me. Last one of the set, we did end on a fairly strong note. Toyota GR Supra. Like this casting a lot. The execution on this one was a little so-so. Color looks good on it. Of course, this is the way it was in the movie. Livery looks good. Excellent wheel choice there. I don't know if that's movie accurate or not, but it looks good on the car. Problem with this one, it kind of suffers from, if you hear some people complain about a couple of the Matchbox cars that they've released lately in the RLC, the Collector's Series, they kind of have like a dot matrix print job on them, on the tampos, and the headlights kind of suffer from that here, and there's a little bit of bleed over on them, so the paint and the tampos and stuff kind of smudged on these a little bit. Now, I already have one of these open, so it would be a keep for me because it is a pretty cool car, and those drawbacks aren't that bad. It's just if you're looking for a super clean casting, this might not be it. But this one in particular, since I already have one open, I'm going to go ahead and pass on this one. Next set I have a couple from is Fast Stars. The Mitsubishi Eclipse. I think they're calling this same casting the 95 Mitsubishi Eclipse now. Maybe a little bit different. Either way, this is a fairly accurate version of this car. The wheels aren't exactly right, but I do really like the wheels on this. Probably doesn't hurt that when I had my own Eclipse, this is kind of the style wheel I had on there. But overall, I think this is a pretty decent representation of the car. Let's see what set we had here. This was, again, a couple of fairly strong cars, I guess. Actually, really one strong car and then some filler. If you were around when this set came out, these Lycans, they were on the pegs forever. Stores, it took them a long time to get rid of them. This one I'm going to keep. This is the only one I have like this, I think. Have this car in several different releases, but this one in particular, I think this is the only one I have left. So I'm going to smash this one. We're going to keep it. 92 Ford Mustang, also in the Fast Stars. Not super crazy about this color, but the casting itself is really well done. Love the stance here, and this is just a good looking version of the Fox body. I'm going to smash this. Definitely going to keep this in the collection. Fast and Furious set. This is from last year, I believe. You can see here kind of another honestly mediocre set, and I hate saying that because I like all these cars. I've been a fan of these cars like ever since I was into cars, but just from a diecast and a collector's standpoint, you can just tell like most of these cars aren't what people are getting excited about, unfortunately. Lightning is, I'm going to say, probably the strong suit here. They do a really good job on this Lightning. Stance is even really nice. It seems a little bit lower than some of the other ones you'll see. Of course, we have the Racer's Edge livery here. I like this wheel. I think this wheel's pretty accurate, really. Maybe it was aluminum in the movie, I can't remember, but either way, it looks really good on it. And I do prefer these wheels. I think that's the best wheel that they have on the Lightning casting. Just a really good job of that overall. I have this in the diorama set, and I think maybe a few other places, so I believe I'm going to go ahead and say pass on this one as well. If I didn't already have it, I would say smash because it's a really nice casting, but this one's going to leave the collection. 77 Pontiac Firebird TA. Really like this car. Of course, I grew up with Smokey and the Bandit, so obviously I'm going to like it a little bit. The wheels on here, I don't think Hot Wheels has like the style wheel that this car would have had to make it stock. But this wheel selection is just interesting. They did at least make it like the gold or bronze color, whatever you want to call that. So it don't look too off if you don't look at it real close, but it's like, if I really think about it, I'm like, man, I just wish they'd put different wheels on that car. Overall, still not a bad casting. I think this was probably the second most popular car from this set. I don't know. I think if it had different wheels on it, I might keep it. But for this one, I think I'm going to go ahead and pass and just take it out of the collection. Coming down the stretch here, we have two more recent castings. Have the Toyota Supra with the R34 livery. A lot of people haven't been real happy about Hot Wheels kind of swapping around some of these paint schemes on the Fast and Furious cars. And I get it. It's a money grab. But you know what? The whole Fast and Furious set anymore from Hot Wheels is just a money grab. That's why you see so many of them. People will buy them almost regardless of what they do. This one at first was really hard to find. And then I don't know if people just weren't interested in it or what the deal was. But I really didn't have any trouble finding these. I was on the fence about picking them up to begin with because, honestly, I didn't really care for the livery. I don't like the wheels on it too much. But, anytime I'm on the fence, I'll usually just go ahead and bring them home just in case because sometimes it's hard to get them after the fact, right? And I hate paying shipping for something that I could have bought in the store. You see again here that we have several castings that are just kind of filler. And, again, in this set, we had another 70 Chevy Nova. So, there we already have that casting again just a few sets later. Either way, this one, not super crazy about it. I like the Supras, but the paint job really doesn't do anything for me. Going to say pass on this one. Brings us to our last one, actually fairly new. Toyota AE 86 Sprinter Trueno. Really nice version of this casting. I know a lot of people were looking for this, but honestly, this has been kind of a peg warmer around here. And I actually caught them on clearance, I think, at Kroger the other day. They had a sale on them, so they were going for like $4 a piece, $3 and something. So Really good time to pick that up. Be sure to check your Kroger's just to see if they happen to have any. I've also caught these, I think, at like Hobby Lobby. I've seen these just a lot of places. Where you're at, they may be more popular and hard to get. Right around here, they're not too bad. But just a really clean version of this casting. A lot of people were excited for these wheels on here. And, you know, this set was okay. Obviously, a lot of people were excited about the R32. NSX didn't look bad. This was the only car in the set that I really liked. I do like it, and I'm going to keep it, so we're going to say smash. So there you go. Went through all these cars. Let me know what you would do differently. Is there anything I'm getting rid of that you would have kept? Or anything I'm keeping that you would have got rid of? Just let me know what you think about the Fast and Furious sets. Are you happy they keep coming out with them? Because you can grab stuff that you couldn't get before, or are you kind of sick of seeing it? I lie somewhere in the middle. I'm kind of indifferent about it. Like, it's cool. The only thing is, I wish they would kind of slack off on it a little bit so they could come out with some other things. Put that effort toward other castings, other series. Either way, if you do like this video, there's several who we have here that we hope you'll enjoy. Be sure to check those out. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any of our other content. Quite a few good videos for you coming up, so stay tuned for that. Hope you're having a good weekend. Happy hunting, y'all.